Here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Hecate. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran. It is GuMiho. And yeah, like Hero's playstyle, Darks as well. I guess I'm echoing what's being said in the chat. They are very volatile players, especially when it comes to current StarCraft, which is like the new patch, right? New patch, new maps. Hero is clearly trying things out, as we saw in the last game, going for those goal bases really early on. He's experimenting, and that's a big reason as to why Hero is such a pioneer for his race. You know, he's the Protoss prophet, Papi. He's the one who molded the meta of StarCraft, of modern StarCraft, you know, like the Hero opener, you know, Oracles into Blink Stalkers, right? It's like Hero did all of that, and he's continuing to play his own way in so many of these matchups against Zerg, against Protoss, and so many players look to him for guidance, look to him for, you know, how to lead the way through StarCraft as a Protoss player. And part of that is also just being very exploratory with builds, with different all-ins, different play styles, making use of the maps, and yeah, there's some trial and error to it. There's definitely some trial and error. That's what we're going to be seeing a lot of here in these first couple of weeks. Like, the patch is still very new. The maps are still very new in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, it doesn't always work, but hey, when it does, it's beautiful. I'm reminded as well of ByuN. Hero is like this, Dark is like this, ByuN is like this. We casted a lot of ByuN this year, and if you remember, ByuN, he was doing the 2-Rax opener all year from the beginning, and it took a couple of months for it to really look solid and for it to really catch on. It wasn't until like May or June, it wasn't until like a couple of months into this year where it started catching on and other Terran players started doing it. Obviously, Maru and ByuN had started it last year in DreamHack Atlanta, but it wasn't until a couple of months later, after ByuN had done so much work refining it, that like Cure, Spirit, Clem, everyone else started catching on. So yeah, you know, that's why I got a lot of respect for these players that are willing to do their own thing, willing to play their own way and make it work. Regardless, double gas openers. We do have a double gas opener out of GuMiho. We have a Rax expand out of ByuN. So ByuN is being more economic. GuMiho is being more aggressive. He is here with his first Hellions and Reapers pushing up the ramp. And ByuN is going to have to try to hold on here, buy enough time for his Cyclone to pop out. SCV does go down. Starport is delayed. The first Reaper will fall as well. GuMiho looking to get out of control. SCVs are going down. ByuN cutting too many corners, being a bit too greedy, but the Cyclone will finally arrive, and ByuN will clean this up. Not before losing 6 SCVs. So ByuN, he may have had a faster base, he may have had a faster orbital, but now GuMiho is able to catch up and then some. Now up 5 SCVs. Of course, ByuN still has mules, don't get me wrong, but that was a lot of damage early on. Very well done here by GuMiho. Again, it was only 1 Hellion and 2 Reapers. He took a chance, he took a gamble, but it paid off. And now GuMiho, he's reinforcing, pushing out once again with 2 more Cyclones and a handful of units. There's no stim, no upgrades, vanilla units are moving out, but they're hoping to catch ByuN off guard. This is a lot of how GuMiho plays. Again, GuMiho is also very stylistic. As he pushes on forward, looking for the lock on. Alas, he won't quite get it. ByuN is in position this time. GuMiho won't break into the natural, but he picks up and he's going for the main. Gonna be diverting his attention to the main base instead. In said main, we are continuing Cyclone production, going into a Liberator as well. The Cyclones, they will be able to pick off this depot. Cute move here out of GuMiho. Gets a depot. Behind this, we do have our own 1-1-1 setup into Cloak Banshees. We're not just getting Banshees, but we're investing into Cloak as well. TY, is that you? Oh my god, the lock-ons are insane! ByuN overextends, he loses almost everything, only 1 Cyclone is left. And it will be hunted down. ByuN, he loses control of his natural base. GG gets called. GuMiho snowballing out of control. Taking an amazing fight and taking game 1. GG. Oh. Here we go. Oh, again, GuMiho just with a handful of units, and that wasn't even his final form. Remember, he had Cloak Banshees behind that as well, but he was just catching ByuN unawares, off guard. He was able to catch those Cyclones, and that was the game-winning move for GuMiho. Just trading 3 Cyclones for nothing. And breaking into the natural. GG. GG, well played. GuMiho is definitely the most outside the box Terran. Yes, yes. GuMiho. The difference between GuMiho and ByuN is that ByuN makes sense. As ByuN, as in when he refines a build, a lot of people do follow him just because of course he puts a lot of time into refining it. GuMiho, it feels like GuMiho plays like off the cuff. Like GuMiho is very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it feels very improv. It feels very improv from GuMiho. It probably isn't. Like I'm sure there's a method behind the madness. But GuMiho, he's a very chaotic player. He's very hard to read. Very hard to read. And very few people try to emulate him. Is what I'm trying to get at. Which is still great though. He's a very unique player. Very stylistic. We love to see him. Love to cast him. If only Cyclones could outrun Cyclones. Oh, smooch. Cyclones killing Cyclones. Feels bad, man. Oh! Oh my god. Oh, my apologies. That was not game 1. That was the ace match. We're being told now that that was the ace match, and GuMiho, he has eliminated ByuN. GG, well played. That was not game number 1, that was game 3, and just like that, ByuN is eliminated from the tournament, and we are getting ready here for the upper semifinals. It is going to be GuMiho versus Cure. Here we go. But yeah, I do apologize. I was under the assumption that it was a fresh series that we were all jumping into, but no, we were jumping in mid-series, and yeah, that was the ace match. Here we go. And now we have our upper semifinals. Again, we do apologize we didn't get to catch game 1 or game 2. Fun fact, I don't think anyone casted game 1 and game 2. I think everyone was in Hero versus Clem. So yeah, we were unable to bear witness to game 1 and game 2. But we will for this one. We will for this series, as this is going to be a fresh best of 3.